Hello, everybody. This is Milesluigi. We haven't done this in a while. It's Let's Read What You Guys Have to Say, where we take a look at YouTube comments, think about them a little bit, and more so over just me going, thank you, guys. Let's read your stuff. Joining me today is...
The Evil Pop-Tart.
And Higsby.
So I'm not backlogging because we haven't done this in quite a while. I'm actually just going to jump straight ahead to let's sequence break the shit out of Metroid Zero Mission Part 17, where Rachel Clark makes a really good observation about Metroid, which I have a personal experience with, actually. To the comment. Metroid was always something I avoided as I thought it was too scary and adult for me, but after curiously watching your Zero Mission playthrough, I've loved Metroid. I've been watching so many Let's Plays, and I've bought lots of Metroid games on the Virtual Console. Thank you, Miles, for introducing me to a great series. P.S. My favorite game is Prime 3. Interesting. I felt the same way when I first got Metroid Prime. Prime 3 is a good game, though. It is lacking in sequence break ability.
What Nintendo games would you recommend sequence breaking then, Milesluigi? Please tell me.
Any Metroid game that isn't Metroid Prime 3, Metroid Fusion, or Metroid Other M. Colon-3. You'd be surprised how many games out there from Nintendo can be sequence broken. Do a bit of research. Even Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door, can be sequence broken.
I actually saw a video on TTYD being sequence broken. I can't wait to try it out, as it is one of my favorite games. I would try Metroid Prime, but I've never beaten the game in the first place, so there's step one, I guess! Exclamation mark.
Alright, to address the first thing, I have a very similar experience with the Metroid series, actually, Rachel. My very first game, Metroid game, was Metroid Prime, because it was a major hyped Nintendo game that came out, and I really wanted to check it out, but it really felt like an actual mature game instead of Mario being Yahoo, Yippee, or something like that. So I just have much a relatable experience to that. And I remember when I got Metroid Prime, it was such a beautiful game, and I still would argue today it is still a beautiful game.
My first Metroid game was Super Metroid, so I guess on the Super Nintendo, nothing can really be that scary, but yeah, good points.
My first Metroid game was nothing. So I haven't played a damn one of them. So it sounds like Metroid Prime and Other M would be games I'd play because I can't sequence break them, which I don't care.
Prime you can sequence break.
Just skip to the third one. You're not missing anything. Just
yes, exactly. I'll just do that. I'm just going to skip to the third one.
And the other thing, yes, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door can be sequence broken. It's a bit much for me to explain here, so I'll probably put an annotation to a video right here to show you the awesomeness you can really break Thousand-Year Door. Not like horribly bad, but you can break it. So please watch that video. To our next comment. This is a big Wa Yoshi M comment in regards to our Nintendo's Tough Love roundtable that we did. I hate phone games, so I really don't want Nintendo to go mobile. That's just fine with me. Rut-roll. All this Mario dumping on Mario. Colon-Parenthesis. I play all the Marios to enjoy the level design, and that's well enough for me. So I don't mind any story issues. I don't play games with any intent to replay them that much, so yes. And SMB 1-2/U, 3D Land, and 3D World aren't really replayable, but I still enjoyed my runs of them. The level design has little quirky differences in each one that I like to take note. New Super Mario Bros. 2, for example, I had lots of invisible coin blocks. And for the record, Wario Land 4 is amazing, and I've played it several times back in the day. Getting 100% on Super Hard was an accomplishment. I also played Shake It for 100%, something I've been meaning to play. The level design is similarly great, but I haven't. Those are the only two WWs I've played. Now, Sticker Star, that's just one of the worst games in a while for Mario. I wouldn't compare it to the latest 3D platformers in terms of failing expected standards, but maybe that's just me. Continue on to the next part, Andrew.
NSMB2, for example, had a lot of invisible vine blocks, quoting what Yoshi said. You consider that a good thing? I don't know how many secret exits in that game were hidden by means of jump into this completely random spot and find an invisible vine which takes you to the red flag. I didn't have fun with that at all, and would definitely call it lazy secret hiding. Don't know where to hide something? Just put an invisible block and throw it in some random corner of the level. Firstly, I think it's kind of sad that every new Mario game just feels like a ROM hack of a previous title, although secondly, it's even worse when I feel like many ROM hacks out there do a better job of creating Mario levels and just basically introducing new ideas and, creative things overall than Nintendo themselves have been doing these days. It's just always the same linear crap. Where's the sense of exploration that 64 and Sunshine had? all it is these days is, floating blocks in space in a linear kind of path to the end. This was my main gripe with Galaxy. The new space theme was cool, but just about every single star was go from planet A, go into the shooting star thing, and then it takes you to another planet, and it's just like a constant chain of linearness to the star. And every single Mario game that has followed has, had this linear fashion in it, which I don't enjoy nearly as much as the kind of exploration that 64 and Sunshine had. I'm happy to hear how extensively you've played Wario Land 4 and 5, though, because those are two of my favorite games, and they're super fantastic, and they have this sense of exploration and adventure, which I would love to see in a Mario game again that we haven't seen since the GameCube.
I did not think the invisible blocks were a good thing at all. I was annoyed by them too. I just found it interesting how they went that route and that they were running out of ideas / getting stagnant, etc. Even in New Super Luigi U, the DSU, there were some hidden in the background blocks that were really unmarked for secret exits that were kind of dirty. I did get enjoyment out of the critiquing that as I play, where others would be purely annoyed, and I get that. I literally play 90% Mario games, and I want to 100% them as much as possible, regardless of quality, and I feel the quality is still good enough lately. I guess I'm an oversaturated Mario fanboy. : V : I've been reading why Yoshi's comments differently now that I've actually heard his voice.
Man,
Instead of reading them like you normally should, you should really not do this. And, yeah.
My nerd voice?
Yes, your nerd voice.
You see, invisible coin blocks are a crucial part of the Mario series.
Okay, we get it.
I'm just looking at that comment, and it kind of blows my mind. Like, he's basically saying he enjoys bad games because he critiques them, even though they're bad, and that makes it, like, I'd rather just, like, I have to say this. I read through these comments. You sent me, these things a couple days ago before we're actually recording this, and I looked through them and I said, maybe I was a bit harsh on Super Mario, and then I started playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and I'm like, no, Mario deserves every single little bit of bashing that I gave it. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is fantastic. Like, it goes places where Mario would never go. Riding a minecart through a sawmill with rusty blades slicing your face off if you accidentally run into them. Like, I want to see Mario have that. Not just every level. Here's a grassland. Oh, there's some happy flowers. There's a ghost house with happy ghosts. There's a castle with happy other... Like, I want some real, it's not like, oh, I don't like happy things, and that's why I don't like Mario, but it's just... Like, where's the variation in anything, in any Mario game? It's the same, like, I don't know, because we've had this conversation before. But again, I'm pointing at the screen and you can't see it right now, but, it's interesting that they went the route where they hid vine blocks around. Like, that's a bad thing. I would never say, yeah, I'm so happy they took the latest Donkey Kong Country game and, changed it so all you had to do was mash A 1,000,000 times to beat each level and didn't actually have to do anything. Like, I thought it was fun critiquing that, even though the game sucked. So it gets a 10 out of 10. Like, what? I don't understand. Like,
Make us understand!
I understand. Maybe, like, it's really funny. I feel weird because I feel like an old grandpa or something. When, I guess I've been playing Mario games since the days of the NES, although we've had conversations with people who are like, no, I started on the GameCube or on the 64. So, maybe it's just I'm at that point where I've been playing Mario my entire life and I'm kind of getting sick of it, but people who started later on just aren't. I don't know. Like, it really baffles me, kind of. I guess it's okay. I even have the point there where it's like a ROM hack. Like, look at New Super Luigi U. It doesn't get any more ROM hack than that. The same overworld? Are you kidding me? It's just... and even between 3D World and 3D Land, it's the exact same thing with different levels, and already in 3D Land, like, I guess okay, this will be my final point on this. I really liked 64's and Sunshine's big open world, where you explored, you found all the hidden items, you had the ability to do things in different orders, and I thought that was great. Anything other than that just feels like a downgrade. So I guess that's to me, because that was kind of, the pinnacle point of Mario for me. So that's why it just feels like it hasn't been as good lately. Because it feels like they're ignoring kind of the best, kind of formula they had and going this route where everything just feels rehashed and linear and exactly the same. So, and then again, secrets hidden in, vine blocks in the most random spots. So I don't know.
I would
I guess
personally
that's my
say
gripe
the
with it.
Galaxy games. I don't care
Sorry?
what you say about the Galaxy games non-linear or their linearity. I love them and they're awesome. So
Why?
they're extremely well designed, especially Galaxy 2, but even Galaxy 1, it's just like constant, oh my gosh, this is fun. Look at this.
I mean, I beat Galaxy 1 100%, and then I think the problem was I got exhausted. And then I tried to beat it with Luigi, and I'm like, okay, I got halfway through that. I'm like, I'm just playing the exact same game again.
I'll admit that was kind of baloney.
And then I got Galaxy 2, which didn't come out that long after, and I guess I was just still burned out from that. So I guess I don't know. Maybe that just kind of tarnished my Galaxy. Like it did feel like the exact same game again with new levels, which isn't always a bad thing. But again, maybe I'm just an old cranky fool who doesn't enjoy Mario as much as he once did because like 500 new Mario games come out a year.
No, I agree with you, Higsby, 100%. I'm granted on my stance on how I feel about Nintendo. They've really, to me, milked the Mario Luigi franchise almost to death. I mean, sure, it's another Mario game, and all the fanboys will just kind of go, "Oh yeah, it was okay, it was pretty decent, it did this, and this." But I mean, really, when companies don't take decent time, they rehash an old game that's already there, and they just toss a couple new things in it. It's like, where's the creativity? Where is all the ingenuity going? What am I paying for? If I wanted to play Super Mario Galaxy 1, I would go play that. Why am I playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 just for a small couple additions? And really that comes down to these video game companies are just cranking out games now. They're not innovating. They're not doing anything different. They're just going for the quick cash grab. That's all they want. And they know they can go for the quick cash grab. And that's where you start getting into these problems. It's just what games turn into cash grabs and what games are actually truly the classics and the best that distinguish themselves from others.
And it's not just Mario, I can tell you that.
No, I mean it's Kirby, Donkey Kong, it's all that. But even those are cash grabs too because they're like, we just made a Mario game last month. We really can't release another one because we just did. So what else can we rehash? How about some of the older games? There you go. No more needed.
I would also argue it's not just Nintendo either.
No, it's not just Nintendo by any means. Nintendo has a longer streak of it because they've got more games that people want that, they're holding on to. Final Fantasy.
Wow, we really went on essentially the same tangent we went in that video. Wow.
But can I don't think I brought this up in that video, so if I could say one more thing regarding 3D World.
Okay.
And other Mario games too. One of the biggest punches to the face I felt with that game. You go through all 8 worlds. It's like, okay, I'm finally at the end. Hopefully I get some kind of great concluding cutscene that make it all worthwhile.
Nope.
You jump, you get the final flagpole, it dumps you into the credits. And then after the credits, you get dumped on the title screen. So you played that entire game and they couldn't even have a concluding cutscene at the end of it. Mario 3 has more of a conclusion than that.
Mario 1 has a conclusion. You meet the princess, and she thanks you.
Pathetic.
And she tells you to enter a new quest. Press A or B or something like that.
Like, what was that? Like, I could not believe it. I'm like, that just feels like the biggest insult. Like, nobody likes the credits. So when you beat the game, and the first thing you see is the credits, that's almost like Nintendo giving their big middle finger to you. Like, you gave us your money. Like, oh my gosh. Like, that was just, like, I'm sorry, but I think that, like, I mean, yeah, okay, you can play it for the level design, but I think that, like, I guess, again, I've just been playing Mario for so long, I wish that Mario was more than just levels. I wish it had more to it, like the Paper Mario games, where it's, like, but yeah, I had to get, like, I just felt that was, like, the biggest insult, where it's, like, you put so much effort into playing this game, here's the credits. F you. Like, that's how I felt. Like, so, I don't know. Next.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still discussing Nintendo's Tough Love Roundtable with everyone. Great Emerald has a good point to make here. Evil Pop-Tart, go for it.
What happened to games that allow you to figure out things on your own? Evil Pop-Tart says. Cue Metroid. Well, I don't like Metroid games, that's why I never played them, first of all. Second of all, I never got into it. Now, In order to counteract that, well, if you've never played it, why did you say that? I played Castlevania. Castlevania is the same thing, thus Metroidvania. However, at least in Castlevania, I knew what the hell I was doing half the time, even if I had to really look for it. Castlevania, or Metroid, not so much. Don't like Metroid. I want to go on the internet and find cheat codes, evil Pop-Tart parodies, cue Moonjump. Yes! For something like that, of course. I've already stated myself on that. Who doesn't use cheat codes on those games? I don't do it all that often, but whatever. Just personal things, I guess. Yes, I will. Yay, whoever's responsible for Nintendo making marketing names. Gah, the Wii was really dumb name, beginning with that even such categories. GameCube. Wii U even is worse. What's next? The Wii U they? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't know Ballmer resigned and Gates is now a technical advisor rather than a chairman. Yes, he is. The messed up Z buffer on the G in Higsby's avatar always makes me feel uneasy if I stare at it too long.
Darn you! I will never not see that issue in Higsby's avatar now.
Darn you, Ex-Dee. Well, if someone creates me a really cool new avatar, I would gladly switch to it, because I've been using this one for almost 3 years now. Well, I mean, about 2.5, going on 3, so yeah. If someone does, and I think it's pretty cool, I would switch to it. Yeah, it's pretty retro.
I will say one thing in your defense, Great Emerald. You made a really good point there. Yes, a game where you have to figure out how to do things on your own, Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much you complain about Metroid Evil Pop-Tart, he is right.
He may be right. I will give him at least credit for that, but I don't care because I don't play Metroid games. I've never have. I've
Even
played...
in the newer ones, did they add like a Nintendo Easy Guide thing? Like, did Other M probably had that? I think that was around the time when they went like super happy and it's like every game needs to have a thing that you can do.
Other
that tells
M,
you how to beat
Adam
it if
tells
get
you
stuck.
where to go everywhere, and he authorizes you things. So it really isn't until near the end of the game where you can actually explore.
Wow.
So
I haven't played Other M, so
don't. Our next comment on Samsara Scythe, Doom Cooperative Gameplay Commentary 6. Big Mac Davis tells us all that the Doom 2 instruction manual refers to the mastermind as a she. Thank you, good sir. Colon-Parenthesis.
I'll be damned.
So yeah, the spider mastermind is a she.
Good to
There
know.
you go. There's your evidence.
You learn something every day, I guess.
Okay. Our next one, let's sequence break the Shadow of Metroid Zero mission, part 18. Higsby, please do Yankee Gal.
I'm right. Do the moon jump.
I looked online, and there is a moon jump code for this game, O.O, and there's the moon jump code. So yes, if you want to play Metroid Zero mission with moon jump, there you go. You could sequence break power bombs with that code.
Yes.
Okay, our next comment, Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, Mario Alone Challenge, the prologue. Evil Pop-Tart, Great Emerald, please.
Give me 1 sec here, yes. Okay, if you want a name for something that says dead for quite a while, how about Ridley? Happy face.
The white Yoshi is the closest one to gray.
Sounds good.
I love this so much that I had to go with it, even if it wasn't really truly a unanimous thing. It was just this one suggestion, but I loved it so much that I had to go with it. Then, of course, when I actually streamed Chapter 3, someone pointed out that, that could actually be a reference to Metroid, and I went, no! No. The Yoshi's dead. It's Ridley. Moving along here. Our next comment, Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door, Mario Alone Challenge, Chapter 1. This one will cause some discussion. Higsby, please do Cesar Esperanza.
How would you rank the partners from best to worst?
Given that the partners each have their own roles in battle, any rank I would give them would be based on either opinion or a specific metric. Example, Miss Mouse is the worst in terms of HP and damage, but she is able to steal badges. With that said, I know Evil Pop-Tart would put Bobbery number 1 on that list and leave the rest blank, (parentheses). As for my opinion, the Yoshi. Always the Yoshi. And LL Productions 2006, we'll get to you in a little bit. But first, Paper Mario. Was I right, Evil Pop-Tart? You'd put Bobbery number 1 on that list and leave the rest of the list blank?
Of course. Fuck everybody else. All I care about is Bobbery.
I win.
Why would you use any other partners when you have one move that just kills everything on screen?
Exactly. Yoshi would probably be my second. Because, of course, people would say, well, you know, you've Pop-Tart. Yoshi's better than Bobbery. No, go piss up a rope. Bobbery. Bobbery all the way. Just because I'm lazy and I only have to push one button. But, of course, Yoshi, I only have to push one button too. But, whatever. Not a big fan of Yoshi's. Big fan of bombs. Bombs explode. Bombs do things.
Higsby, you weren't with us way back when I Let's Played Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. Please do tell me, what's your favorite partner? Or who's your favorite partner?
I would usually use Bobbery once I get him.
Yes!
Yoshi before that. And then Koops before that. And then, well, actually, I use Goombella quite a bit too, because her multi-bounce is fantastic. So, like, especially with, power-ups and things. So, I never use, man, I'm actually forgetting her name. Flurry?
Madam
That's
Flurry.
it, right? Yeah. I never, ever, ever use her.
She's
Who's
useless.
the third partner?
You have Goombella, Koops,
Okay.
Madam Flurry, the Yoshi,
no.
Vivian, Bobbery, and Miss Mouse.
That's right. So I never, ever use Flurry, Vivian, or Ms. Mouse. Ever.
Ooh.
I use a combination of the other ones.
Okay, then. You're missing out on some fiery jinx.
No, he's
I
not.
didn't need it.
He's not missing out on anything. Bobbery. He's already stated he likes Bobbery. Bobbery. Yes, Bobbery supporter. He's my Bobbery supporter. Go away. Leave him alone. He's mine. He likes Bobbery. Piss off.
Goombella is actually really good too, but she has that attack, that rally wink, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would use spring jump with Mario, which does massive damage, and then use that, and then use spring jump again, and I would murder things in like a couple turns with that. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But Bobbery's good too.
So LL Productions 2006, our